My name is Loren Bazan. I was born in Orange County, 1967. I've been doing art since I was in high school, which went a long time, a few years. I started off doing ceramics in high school, and then I moved into studying foundry work. And then I actually went to San Francisco and studied classical figurative sculpture and mold making. And now for years I moved into I haven't done bronze casting for a while, but I'm moving into more conceptual art and installation type of work. More of using recycled materials, found objects, and casting images and repeating image. I use a lot of that. I've been with John Beislein. We've been together almost 12 years now. We live in Escondido. We have 2 dogs, 3 cats. Oh yeah, sure. And we make art together. He's always the one who makes sure my framing is right or everything gets hung properly. He's invaluable. I think when I was in high school, art was kind of an escape, and I lost my older brother at a young age. So I think art became a coping kind of a means to channel a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, a lot of things in my life. And then along the way, I liked doing it, and then I became kind of this cathartic experience. So that was a big influence. But I've had a lot of good teachers along the way. So I studied with this one sculptor when I was in San Francisco. Her name was Frida Koblich. She did a lot of huge minimal pieces, acrylic castings, lots of work. Like, she pioneered a lot of work with plastics and cast acrylic. So she was a big influence in teaching me about minimal work, about doing simpler work, and which is actually quite difficult to make it look really simple and minimal. It's not that easy. But I always like that's one of my influences. I also, classical figurative work, with one of my teachers was 3rd generation School of Rodin. So classical figurative was always ingrained in me, and I think after art school I didn't do it because I had been forced to do it all through art school. But now really using the figure as a narrative tool rather than just doing the figure for that. I really want to make sure I use it in the right way, where I'm telling a story rather than being not just sculpting the figure for its sake. Right now I do a lot of political work, and I usually start with an idea that is something in the news. A lot of my work is influenced right now by news and current events, and sometimes it's difficult because by the time you come up with an inspiration, there's always more things to inspire you. So it's more like picking and choosing what I want to talk about in the news. So yeah, I would say mainly current events, news, politics, and also themes that are, environmental themes and social justice themes. Right now I'm proposing a piece that talks about political polarity. But I'm really taking it on an emotional level and trying to explore on a visual level, emotionally, what it feels like in the country to be polarized and be on a side when the country has been polarized, and what that feels like visually or sculpturally. So. Okay, that's a good question. Early on, things were never done. But as I keep progressing and keep getting older in my work, I realized that you work on the same piece all the time, you just work on different aspects of it. Like I can see when I look in early pieces how I'm still working on something similar in a weird way. So, but sometimes you just have to say it's done. And it's done. Just deciding when you're going to stop working on something, which takes, practice. Okay. I'm always exploring. Hey, baby. This is Sucks. He joined us on my 40th birthday. He came to my 40th birthday party and he never left. So that's how he joined our family. So I'm always exploring methods, mediums. I have a short attention span. Once I've explored something, then I want to do something else. So I can always do a series of something that I've been working on, but I love really getting into the materials and ideas and seeing how they play and seeing how people react to things. Right now, lately I've been getting into a lot of writing elements in my work, and that has led to me writing some short stories, so I've been exploring that. So I just like seeing where it takes me. Like I'd really never thought of myself as a writer, but now I'm doing what started putting writing sayings on my work, and now from that, I've started to write short stories. So things take you sometimes, like for this one piece I was doing, I was putting elements on the piece, and I was started from being into different font styles, turned into writing, now turned into writing a short story. So there's a little progression with sometimes. I like that when you can see how things grow and move in your work. Art. My definition of art has changed over the years. Definitely has. When I was in high school, I was making ceramics, and to me, it had to be fired in clay and glazed and something I could use. And then that moved into making something that I couldn't use out of clay, an object. And then that moved into different materials of objects, and now my art, what I consider art now, has moved into the ideas about objects and about things. So I'm always exploring that right now, and I think maybe using something that is a common, every ordinary thing, but talking about a different idea, that's where that's where I think I'm going with my conceptual work. We'll see where it takes me, but I think more it's ideas that I am working with, not so much the importance of the object or the material. Well, depending on what I'm going for, what my intent is with my piece. Like this one other work I'm proposing, I'm basically building a barrier in the gallery, and I'm confronting the viewer. So I want the viewer to feel confronted. I really want to tailor their experience out. Like with that piece, I want to block them from seeing the rest of the show. They have to literally figure out how to cross over my sculpture of a fence, of a border. So it might, with that piece, it's definitely confrontation, but also desire, and desires not fulfilled. So I'm playing with a lot of trying to tailor a piece to work, to get into the viewer's perspective and make them feel something. But the piece about polarization, I'm really taking a bird's eye view of a situation and really thinking that looking at the bigger picture, wanting the viewer to see the whole complete picture on a, so there's I do tailor my work. Like I'm very specific about each piece, what I want them to, and then sometimes I don't, and sometimes I'm just kind of like let the piece kind of make itself, so to speak. It's knowing when that, when it feels right, We got a noisy street. It's so noisy. Another reason why they have sound rooms, huh? But it kind of feels like the neighborhood, so maybe it's good sound. I don't know.